Welcome to another episode of One on One with Mitch Lafon. Joining me this week, guitarist Ross the Boss Friedman from Death Dealer. Their new album is Hallowed Grounds. We also talk about his time in Manowar and bassist Joey DeMaio. And of course, we can't forget about the other band that Ross is involved with, the Dictators. We talk about that too. Lots to get to, so why waste more time? Let's get right into it. Here is Ross the Boss Friedman. We are speaking with Ross the Boss from Death Dealer. The new album is Hallowed Ground. Good day, Ross.
What's up, Mitch? How are you?
Good. Well, hey, hanging out. You are the third in line in terms of interviews for me today, and I'm sure you've probably done like 15 on your end, right?
I'm pretty busy, a couple a day. I mean, it's really pretty. I'm pretty amazed by it. It's awesome. Yeah.
So let's talk about Death Dealer first of all, and how the band got together. You were doing, you had Manowar back in the 80s. You went off and did the Dictators. You've
hmm
always been very busy. Um, Tell me
hmm
about how you decided to get Death Dealer together.
It's a really fun, a really cool story. About 3.5 years ago, I received a Facebook message from this fellow Sean Peck, whom he's very well known in the metal circles, but I had never heard of him. Honestly, I mean, I keep telling him that, and it's okay, it's okay. So this guy was one of my Facebook friends already, I guess, because he liked what I've done, and he goes, we're thinking of I'm putting together this project, and I have this other guitar player, and we're really thinking about you. We have a bass player, and we're really thinking about you as the addition. It's going to be only you. Would be only you with KK Downing. I said, huh? What? KK Downing? Well, and I said, isn't he retired? And he goes, yeah, but I think we could probably get him out. I said, well, why don't you just sing me some songs? Because I'm always interested in playing with folks, and I like that, and which I do. And he said, okay, I'll send you some. So the next day, I get a call from this Australian guy, Stu Marshall, and he was so nice. And he goes, mate, I brought up on your music, on Manowar, and Hail to England's my favorite record of all time, and your work is, I love your work, and it's just influenced me, blah 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 blah. So I send me some songs. So immediately after that conversation, I get some songs. It's amazing. I mean, those two guys, they're on Sean's vocals. I thought he was one of the best vocalists I've ever heard in heavy metal. And Stu's guitar playing was incredible. I mean, it's shredding, but it's melodic. And if it's not melodic, I don't want anything to do with it. So I liked it. I said, you know what, I'm in. So we started working on songs. So we had Mike Davis, who I found out was in Halford.
Which you gotta like.
He was in the Halford band, and Lindsey Borden. So I agreed to do it, and we started working. We produced War Master, and Death Dealer was born.
Now, musically, the Dictators were more of a punk band, and this is definitely more of sort of a death metal band. Bit of a challenge to get into sort of that more aggressive music, or just a natural progression for you?
No, not really, because Dictators, which I'm currently in, and we're thriving. Dictators,
Right.
we'll call the Dictators NYC now. I mean, we're absolutely thriving. Going to Europe next week. I had the Ross the Boss band, 2008, 2010's metal, power metal, and I don't consider Death Dealer death metal. It's more like power metal with a thrash, vein in it, and there's no music that I can't play. I thought I think it's like, if you really listen to Hallowed Ground, there's more of that my songwriting in it. So I was like, I loved it. I wanted to do something like that. I couldn't wait to do it, and just I'm so happy with these two records.
Yeah, it's a great sounding record. If I
Yeah.
can, if we can go back to the past a little bit and talk some Man of War. Um,
Okay.
you left in '88, I believe.
Yes.
Uh, First of all, just talk to me a bit about being in that band, and I'm somewhat biased in the sense that I worked a Man of War show in Montreal years ago. You weren't in the band anymore, and it was one of the worst experiences for me. They were horrible to the staff. They were horrible to the promoters. They were horrible to
Uh-huh.
the crew.
Right, right.
Um,
Uh-huh.
is that one of the reasons that you left? That it just the situation was somewhat tenuous?
Well, Mitch, let me be honest with you.
Okay.
Joey and I started Manowar with Joey DeMaio. After being introduced by Ronnie Dio on tour, I was in Shaker Street opening for Sabbath. Um, uh, After a while, it's like when you're kind of we're partners with people. Sometimes you just grow apart, and what I was seeing in the band, how Joey was taking the band over, and there was no street sense, there was no nice, there was no being cool with we're cool with other bands. There was none of that in the band. I said no comradeship with other bands. I said this is not me. I mean, this is not me. I mean, I really was I wasn't planning on leaving, and I didn't leave. I was asked to leave. Okay, so
Right.
Joey asked me to leave the band right before the release of Kings of Metal, of the band's biggest record. So he thought getting jettisoning Ross the Boss was a good idea for the band right before the release of its biggest record. We see how that worked out. So, this not being nice to people, it's just so against my nature. And, I'm hearing all these horror stories, and it's, I'm not surprised, but I can't believe it. I mean, it's just insane. Why would people do that? I understand how you feel. But I was gone in '88, and there's so many things to it. So,
Yeah.
but I was jettisoned. I was jettisoned because Joey, of course, told everyone, "Oh, the band's going to be so much better without Ross." So we see.
Yeah, I'm a little baffled that he would say that because your style of playing was crucial to the sound of the band and the first albums and so on and so forth.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about what you were trying to. Well, actually, no, let me change that. Man of War has been very successful. We can't deny that, but they've been very
Yeah.
successful mostly in Europe. Even in the
Right.
'80s, when you had Dio coming over here and Ozzy and of
Yeah.
course all the Def Leppards and all, they
Of
weren't
course.
hitting. What was going on where 1980 to 1988 you weren't on MTV and you weren't playing Madison Square Garden? Why didn't
No. Well,
America?
we actually were on MTV, but I
Right,
mean,
but
with
more.
blow your speakers. But it wasn't rapid rotation, kind of like all the other bands were getting. And I think the problem with that was the fact that we weren't touring in America like all the other bands were. I mean, it started to just dawn on me that why do we have to? I mean, Joey insisted on having every piece of equipment, every piece of gigantic gear that we owned, and that's the only way we're going to play. If it was my decision, we would have been in a truck, 2 stacks each. We could have our clothes, get in, and go play every place in the United States when the getting was good. That was, 1982, 83, 84. We could have done that. All the other bands were doing that. And then look what happened. We didn't do it. We just waited till we went to Europe. I mean, and that's what the band was big. I totally disagree on that, the plan of attack there. We should have played 200 shows a year in the United States.
Yeah, I certainly
When
agree
when
with that.
metal ruled the media, we should have done it, and we didn't. And it wasn't
Was
my decision. I can tell you that.
was it a management decision or was it really just the band? Was it Joey who just
One
said,
guy, one guy, one guy decided that you can't play without our gear. Can't play without it all. I said, I mean, our gear was the loudest in the world. It was all customized. Like 2 stacks is louder than the other band's entire PA and and backline. I mean, so I disagree with that plan of attack. I just have to.
yeah, and I don't want to spend the whole interview talking about Man of War, but I will ask you
Yeah.
just a couple of more questions. The album Fighting the World came out
Uh huh.
in '87, and it featured the
Correct.
cover by artist Ken Kelly. Ken Kelly, of course, did Love Gun and
Yes.
Kiss Destroyer, and of course Rainbow and so
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yep.
Um, just tell me about working with that. I mean, here's this world-renowned artist, and he sort of gave you Man of War's sort of Destroyer cover, right?
Yeah. definitely. Um, Ken is a great guy, great artist. We wanted to appear bigger than life on our record cover, and I think he got it. I think he definitely got it, and he set the template. He's still working for Manowar. He does every single bit of artwork that Manowar has. So what can we say? You know.
Yeah, you gotta love him. And then the last thing I'll just ask you about that was, of course, the image. Um, is that an image that you are proud of? You know, the loincloths and the muscles and all that, or was that sort of like, oh man, we shouldn't have gone that way?
Well, the image, the bigger than life thing, the skin, the furs. I mean, we wanted to stand out better and stand out among the Judas Priest and the Iron Maiden, the denim and leather and stud kind of thing, which I really love. I think it's so cool. But if we would have went with that, I don't think we would have stood out. Visually,
Right.
music wise, we would have. There's no doubt. There's no one was like us, and I just think that for when we were doing things ourselves, when we were off EMI, we had no money and things. We had to come up with things on a very, 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 small budget. I think we did it. I mean, some of it looks cheesy, and I would never have, had nothing to wear, but I always wore clothes because I refused to do, the no clothes thing. So if you look at the pictures, but I'm glad. I mean, we did it. Let me tell you, I have to say, listen, we did 6 records in 6 years.
Yep.
Which is an amazing output of music, okay? And I'm very proud of it.
Right.
It is said to have, established the power metal in heavy metal. It's the foundation of power metal, and I'm very proud of it. You can't argue with the music. I mean, with the other aspects, you can, you can criticize it, but, I prefer to just, dwell on the positive things.
Right,
On the music.
and I'm not criticizing it. It's just it's always been one of the big things with the band. A lot like Kiss, where sometimes the image interferes with the message of the music, where the image is bigger than the music, and you go, "Hey,
Right.
come on, Kiss is a great band, and so was Manowar. These are two great bands.
Right.
We gotta look past the skin sometimes, right?"
Sure, you got to. But Kiss was one of the most brilliant things ever invented in the 20th century, I think.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. In fact, they changed the way
Yeah.
the whole '80s thing was really part of Kiss's doing. The image conscious thing is what '80s were. What MTV was selling was image
Yeah.
back in the '80s, and Kiss
Totally.
led the way.
Totally.
So, oh, absolutely.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Dictators, NYC, and also Death Dealer. How do you split your
Mm-hmm.
time between both bands?
The music business is not quite what it used to be. Where obviously you spend all your life in one band. I mean, a lot of people, some lucky people do that, and no band I think is on tour 360 days anymore. It just doesn't happen. Like the 70s and 80s, 90s. You announce your tour, and you do your tour, okay, and then next year's your other tour. You're doing different territories. The Dictators, we're going to Europe. I mean, we've done 65 shows already for this year. I mean, there's
Wow.
plenty of time. If you're smart, you just know how to split your time. Make your plans well in advance. Our agent, both my agents talk to each other. They have a very good relation, and we're ready for next year. August is going to be Dictators. May, June, July is going to be Death Dealer, and gigs are booking now. So, I consider myself very lucky. And it's all working. Everyone's working together. You just put your time up. You multitask.
Yeah, and which is a skill. Now you've also the last time we spoke, which was 8 years ago, I think it was 9 years ago. You had put out two
That long
so.
ago?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was either for New Metal Leader or for Hailstorm. So it's been a while.
Well, Hailstorm was 5 years ago.
Right, that's right. 2000. Oh, that's right.
And Metal Leader was
2010.
7 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
10.
Okay. Um, in terms of sort of solo albums under the Ross the Boss uh, heading or brand or whatever, uh, are you still going to be putting out solo albums?
It's possible. I never say never anymore in my life. I mean, I've gotten that whole thing wrong. You have to be open to all things. And I love my band. I love those guys in Germany. They're awesome fellows, a great band. There's just so much. My decision was due partly to the business side of it, the labels, the AFM. It's the lack of communication. It came at a very, very bad time. My releases in the music industry, especially with CDs and the whole thing. But it's just, I'm not going to say never. I mean, they want to. They really want to do it. I can still, we'll see. We'll have to see. Right now, Death Dealer is the preeminent band. It's really, that record, I mean, we're kicking ass. I mean, we really are. So.
Well, then talk to me about how, you're talking about the industry being a little more difficult these days. How do you get an album heard, and how do you get it on the radio or fans to check it out? What is sort of the game plan other than interviews? What
other
is
than having a bankroll?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's it. That's it. I mean, here's one of my criticisms of the industry right now, and it's not the industry's fault. It's the fact that there are too many bands. It's like the punk when punk was like riding high. There's just these bands are coming out of the woodwork, and they're not great, and they're all not great, and they're clogging up everybody. Everyone's got a publicist. All these kids are spending money on metal publicists, and trying to get buy onto festivals and buy onto here. So the metal industry right now is completely saturated. Completely saturated. And as a journalist, how many new releases you getting every week?
You know what?
Right?
Probably upwards of 10 or 20, and you unfortunately
A
have
week.
to ignore a lot of them. Well, well, you know what? It's probably more like 30 or 40. Yeah.
It's insane.
It really
That's
is.
insane. Where are these people coming from? I mean, come on. I mean, it's just over the top. And listen, I don't want to discourage anyone from trying it, but man, just holy smokes! And I'm seeing it's the same artwork, it's the same graphics, it's the same look, it's the same sound, repackaged a little differently. And I mean, like I can't even keep up. I have no idea what these bands are. And when I hear like 10 seconds of it, I don't know. I can't tell one from the other. Basically, I can't. And it's the industry is just super saturated with metal bands right now.
Yeah,
and everyone wants to play Bakken.
yeah, everybody wants to play that festival or the one we have here in Montreal called Heavy Montreal, which I think would be great for Death Dealer. By the way, hopefully we'll get you on it.
We're gonna, believe me, yeah, we'll eventually do it all.
We'll do it all. What keeps you going at this point? I mean, you've been at it for, oh my God, what, 40 years now? 42 years
yes,
at some point?
Yeah, 40 years. 40 years.
40. When do you say, okay, it's enough is enough? Let me just go be like Peter Criss and stay in New York and play for the family. What sort of keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated is because I love getting up. I love playing guitar in front of people. I mean, that energy, that buzz is something I can't buy. I can't tell you how I feel in front of a crowd. I mean, it's my joy in life of entertaining. It really is. I love playing guitar. If I could sit at home and play and entertain myself playing guitar, I could sit at home all day. I mean, I don't know, but I can't. I like to work. I mean, I'm busy. I like it. I like making new records. I just put out my 30th. The Dictators' new single is out. Supply and demand. And it's we're thinking of third Death Dealer record right now, and we're writing more Dictators songs, and I'm working on a project with my friend from Argentina with a band called Feener. I just did 5 solos for my good buddy Gus, and it just I just, I love working. I am a workaholic. I think being lazy is one of the worst traits in a human.
I fully agree with you, but as we've both gotten older over the years, at some point you sort of want to look to spending a little more time at home and tending to the garden and
I
stuff.
don't want. I got nothing at home. I have nothing's holding me here at home. I do not like. I mean, I like being home for a little bit, but I'm just a road warrior. Sean called it. It's true. You are a road warrior. You like to play. You don't care what you have to go through to play, and I don't. I never did, and that's my. It's going to be. I think it's going to be my thing to the end. It's like BB King, and I'm just going to play to the end. I don't know when that's going to come, but thank God I'm healthy. Everything's great, so that's what I'm going to do.
Now, speaking of that,
listen.
Yeah.
Now, there's another thing to that. If I ever get to the point where it's an embarrassment that you're just wheeling me on the stage, and that'll never happen because I'll never do that. Okay, some bands, and I'm not going to name them. Some bands are doing that already, and it's not pretty. And they're just for the money, and you'll never see that out of me. I guarantee you.
Yeah,
So,
and I think we know some of the bands you might be referring to, but yeah, it's a I just saw, and this is probably not the band you were referring to, but I just saw Lemmy and Motorhead, and
right.
I've seen them back in the day when they were angry and they wanted it, and I sort of felt, hey, I love you, Lemmy, but maybe you should take 6 months off, get healthy, and then come back in 2016 and kick our asses rather than have us look at you with these eyes of sympathy and go, oh my God, I hope he finishes. Oh my God, I hope he finishes.
Listen, we just did the motorboat cruise, and we love Lemmy. I think he's a rock and roll god.
Absolutely.
One of them. And I don't think there's 6 months. I don't know. He's the way he looked to me, and God love him. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's paying for his lifetime of excess, and I wish he would live for another 50 years.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
And by the way, I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way. I meant that more in you got to take care of yourself, go get strong, and don't, speaking about that boat, I failed to mention
Mitch, listen to me. Listen, brother. You have a Lamborghini, right?
Yep.
You own yourself a Lamborghini. You don't change the oil for 100,000 miles, and then you start changing the oil?
Yep.
I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. You gotta take care of. Oh yeah, you gotta take care of it all the way through, not just at the end.
Lemmy, he's a grown man. He's close to a genius, and he knew what he was doing, smoking cigarettes or a bottle of vodka a day, speed, meth, the whole anything. He's a smart guy. He knows. Everybody's responsible for themselves, and he is too. So. But God love him. I hope he's with us for the next 30 years. I swear.
I fully agree, and I wish him nothing but the best. Speaking of that, though, the cruise. What do you think of those cruises? Because that seems to be sort of the new thing. Everybody's doing it. Kiss is doing it. Def Leppard's doing it. Motorhead's doing it. All these guys. You guys were on it. Is it a fun event for the bands?
It's a fun event for the people. I mean, it's pretty much drunken fun. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like it. I mean, I wake up at 10 o'clock, people are drinking. I mean, it's like from the minute I got on, everyone's boozing it up, having fun. They should. People work hard. The metal fans are loyal. They want to be, and everybody was saying, it was totally great. Everyone's saying hello to each other in the hall. Good morning. Never saw everybody's bonding together. Everyone doesn't like every single style of music, but the heavy metal family is so cool. I think these cruises are great, personally, and sort of the shipping line. So, I think it's great.
Yeah, more.
I think it's great for the fans. Absolutely. I think it's great for the fans. I think it's great for heavy metal, and it shows you. It shows you how great heavy metal is. So you can really get these giant boats and fill them up with people,
Yeah, it's great.
and no fights, no bullshit. You know, amazing.
Let's wrap
Yeah.
up on that, on the loyalty of metal fans. Listen, I was born in the '60s, and I've been a metal fan throughout, from Sabbath to Ozzy to Kiss, the whole thing. I've never
Hmm.
given up. In Europe, in Germany, for example, it's still a very vibrant scene. What is it about a metal
Hmm.
fan that keeps them so dedicated?
Because that's their music. I mean, if you're a metal fan, when you're a metal fan when you're 12, I doubt it. You're gonna change. I doubt it. I doubt you're gonna wake up and you're gonna listen to boy band music. I doubt you're gonna wake up and start listening to pop music or the today's pop. It's not in your DNA. Metal fans have this in our DNA. Rock and roll, metal, hard rock, heavy metal fans, which I include them all. You know, hard rock, heavy metal guys, folks have it in their blood. It's in our DNA. Okay. I'm not going to wake up and start. I don't even know what it is. I'm not going to become a rapper. I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. I think we're born with it, and we're going to die with it.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about my New Kids on the Block phase in the early '90s then.
Oh, forget it.
No, I never had one of those.
Forget it.
But
No, good.
Ross, always fun talking to you. We haven't done it enough. We certainly need to do it more. And I would love to see Death Dealer get a shot at Heavy Montreal in August next year, 2016.
Yeah, well, I mean, we needed, listen, if it doesn't happen all this year, because we view this as our first record, because in War Master, with the War Master CD, we didn't have a label, okay, like CMG and SMG, excuse me, like Sweden Music Group. We didn't have a label, and now we do. So actually, Hallowed Ground is our first record, and to the public, listen, metal. It's like it's a dinosaur. But once you get that, it's slow moving. It's slow to get started. But once it gets moving, it's not stopping. So we're in the process of moving that dinosaur right now, and making friends and turning heads, and that's the deal. It's just like when people see it for the first time, they're like, what the?
Yeah.
It's like, we've been waiting for this for, so.
Let me just, since you mentioned 2013's War Master, let me ask you about that. Are there any plans to re-release it or to make it more widely available?
Yes, I mean, SMG, you can get it through SMG now. So,
okay.
Yes, and Soul Food. Okay, because they handled the distribution, but we just didn't have the power that SMG had and the finances. So, yep, it's I could say 2 records in 3 years, which is pretty good. So,
Yeah, you're one of the rare.
I would suggest.
Now bands are taking 5, 6. I mean, I love, like I said, you look at Metallica and Kiss and all, and we're talking about 5, 6, 7, 9 years between albums, and you go, wow, this is not 1970 anymore, where you had one in March and then the other one in October, right? It's too
Right.
bad.
Yeah, like the Beatles. No, I would listen. I cannot imagine spending 5 years. I mean, it's a new generation coming in already. 5 years. I mean, what could happen in 5 years? I mean, it's just ridiculous. I think those CDs should be released when the music calls for it. I mean, if there's enough songs to make it amazing. Okay, I don't believe in making music just for the sake of having more product out there. It has to be awesome. It has to be up to our standards. We're not going to put out a record that I mean, right now, trying to top Hallowed Ground is going to be a feat. It's going to be a feat because that record, I think, it's a masterpiece personally.
Yep, I agree, but I also agree that you shouldn't overthink albums. I mean, I know it's nice to have the 10 best songs ever, but sometimes it's nice just to have that rawness and that feel, and not overthink it and go, oh, let's listen to those demos again. Let's see if we can fix the sound of the snare.
I know. I know that we have to have listen. Death Dealer was all about songs, hooks, and choruses. Okay, you know, if we have the songs, they're going to come out. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, if we have them, you're going to hear them. You know, I don't believe in just putting something out to put it out, but I do agree we shouldn't wait forever. And we're not, believe me. So, you know, here's the third one. It's you haven't even heard the first one, which is Hallowed Ground, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I like the fact that people want to hear it, but
Yeah.
when the time is right, you're going to hear it. That's all I could say.
Yeah, so there you go. So we remind folks, Death Dealer, Hallowed Ground, great album, definitely worth it. Checking out Ross, always a pleasure, and hopefully we'll do this again very soon, and not space it out for 7 years or whatever it was, 5 years. But
No. Listen, yes, everybody can go to YouTube and see Break the Silence, or video, or
right.
world-class video.
Yep.
And there's some other stuff on there. One of our appearances from the Metal All-Star Tour in front of about 12,000 people. A song off War Master, Hammer Down. And you know, listen, if you're the type of person that loves great heavy metal songs, great choruses, strong choruses, you know, getting smashed over the head with them, and pick up Hallowed Ground, you won't be angry at yourself.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. Very much in your face kind of album, and that's what we love about metal. It's not about easy listening and sitting at the beach with a pina colada. It's about power. There you go. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, sir.
And there you have it, folks. My interview with Ross, the Boss Friedman of Death Dealer. I certainly hope you check out their new album. I'm seeing a lot of great reviews for it. And if you want to check me out, head over to Twitter. At Mitch Lafon is where you can find me. And on Facebook, there is the at Mitch Lafon, but there's also the One-on-One with Mitch Facebook page to check me out. If you like what you are hearing on the One-on-One podcast and would like to contribute to keep it on air and keep all these wonderful things going on, I do have a PayPal address. It is mitchminute@aol.com. If you want to contribute something to the show, it is mitchminute@aol.com. On that, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed Ross the Boss Friedman, and look for more episodes coming up, including my part 2 with producer Tom Werman, coming soon. Bye for now.